In another example of how far Mike Pillow has fallen off the wagon, he recently called on Idaho officials to do hand recounts in places where Donald Trump had already won. Which means it's time for another episode of Pillow Talk.
God gave me this platform. I already know I'm going to win.
China did our vote. Biden and Harris would say, hey, we're here to protect the country, and resign.
Mike Lindell's a conspiracy.
But you haven't.
Just forget about the evidence. This was attacked.
So Mike Lindell continues to go across the country and do call for nonsensical recounts. The latest ones actually happened in two small counties in Idaho. Now, a very curious choice because these counties in Idaho overwhelmingly went to Donald Trump. But apparently not overwhelmingly enough for Mike Lindell. So now in a document, and I love the irony about this, right? Called The Big Lie on frankspeech.com. Lindell alleged that about 35,000 votes in Idaho were switched electronically from Donald Trump to Joe Biden. And so he's saying, wow, look at how many votes they switched. Okay, but did Donald Trump still win? Yes. And so that accomplished what? Exactly? Oh, the votes, they switched the votes. But did Donald Trump still carry the state and both of these counties? Yes, by, again, very large numbers. And so understand that, like, okay, the question is, for Lindell, why would this even happen? Idaho went to Donald Trump, was going to go to Donald Trump. This is a small red state, population-wise, and it would actually mean nothing if Biden had carried it, which would, again, be very curious. Had Biden carried it. So it doesn't make any sense. What would be the point? So now, in response to Lindell's allegations, Idaho wasn't happy. The Secretary of State's office, led by Republican Lawerence Denney, decided to do some recounts in Camas and Butte counties, which were selected because of their small size, allowing Lindell's claim to be easily proven or disproven. So here's a Republican saying, all right, we know you've got concerns. You got concerns, so we're just going to do this anyway. Let's do a recount. All right, let's humor you. Let's see what happens. Well, and let me give you a statement here. Denney told to Boise's Channel 11, quote, the Office of the Idaho Secretary of State takes free, fair, and accurate elections seriously. So when we are presented with allegations that come with specific details which we can examine, we want to do so. Denney's chief deputy, Chad Hawk, added, once we had the Big Lie document in hand, we immediately believed there was something amiss. You don't say. Really? Were there dumps? Were there
big massive dumps?
Big massive dumps, like what Trump said. Well, this document, Huck explained, alleged electronic manipulation in all 44 counties. That apparently is just too much. Too much. In fact, he said, at least 7 Idaho counties have no electronic steps in their vote counting processes. That was a huge flag, and one we knew we could either prove or disprove fairly directly. So now, are you saying that Mike Lindell handed over allegations with no evidence and not even knowing how the actual process works in Idaho? No, he would never, would he? No, of course not. So let's get to the numbers, right? So now, in Butte County, the official canvass last year showed 1,202 votes for Donald Trump and a total of 188 for Biden. Lindell says, no, that didn't happen. 188 people did not vote for Joe Biden. Lindell alleged that Butte County should have only had 130 votes for Biden based on what? We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where he got this. The actual ballots, Hawk said, upon manual inspection and hand evaluation in the presence of local representatives from both Republican and Democratic parties, in fact, showed exactly the expected 188 marked votes for Biden, not 130. Now, they did find an anomaly. They said the only anomaly was that only 1,406 of the 1,415 ballots originally tallied for the county's canvass were counted, resulting in a lower number of 1,193 for Trump compared to the canvass 1,202. The discrepancy attributed to sorting and storage issues. So, slightly less votes for Trump, but the same amount of votes for Biden. Good job. Well done. Oh, wow. But Trump still won, but just by slightly less. Wow. Congratulations. In Camas County, last year's canvass showed 507 votes for Trump and 149 for Biden. The hand recount found 508 votes for Trump and 149 for Biden. Oh, look, see, there you go, win. You picked up an additional vote in a state that you had already won incredibly comfortably. Well done. Hawk said this human error of 0.14% could have easily been in our own process or an election day, but it was well short of the supposed 54-vote difference alleged by the big lie spreadsheet. My God, Karens have learned how to use spreadsheets. Oy. This is comical, but there's more. There's more, of course. Idaho officials now plan to conduct a third recount next month in Bonner County, where Lindell alleges that 2,244 votes were switched from Trump to Biden. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, that's a lot. And that would guarantee that Trump still wins the state and gets the same number of electoral votes. Does he even understand how this system works? He already won the state. And again, the recounts so far found absolutely no evidence of vote switching. In some cases, not in Idaho, but in other places, actually ended up getting more votes for Joe Biden, not for Trump. None of this makes any sense. Why even bother? Why waste more time and taxpayer money just to get more egg on Lindell's face? And by the way, this is from people who actually do say that they agree with allegations of mass voter fraud. Again, Bonner County Clerk Mike Rosedale said this, quote, "While I generally agree with Mike Lindell's focus on massive voter fraud in 6+ key states, his facts regarding Idaho quite missed the mark." Well, completely missed the mark, he added. So, yeah, completely missed the mark indeed. What this means, he said, is that somebody just assigned a magic vote fraud number to all Idaho counties. You don't say. Wow. He is so close. So close. There's more. He said this. Their goal appears to make a big splash, shock and awe. Every state. Oh, the horror. This should make your blood boil, Democrats and Republicans. For the sake of apparently trying to make a big splash, he tarnished the reputations of possibly thousands of counties across the USA. Smooth move, Mr. Lindell. So I love the sarcasm in this, because basically what he's saying is, hey, moron, I'm with you. I agree with fraud, wink, 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 just not here. What you're doing is making us all look stupid. Why don't you focus in the other places? You know, the places that would actually freaking matter if you could, quote unquote, prove your election fraud conspiracies. Rosedale, understand that Rosedale is not a moron. He's one of those Republicans, and lots of them exist, that know the real purpose behind alleging mass voter fraud. And that purpose is to restrict minorities from voting. That's what it is. It's always been the purpose. Creating a problem, or in this case, imagining it, and then solving it by restricting voting in order to Oh, protect the integrity of our electoral process, yes. And of course, after they say that, they'll mumble under their breath by keeping the dark people out. That just, usually goes unsaid, but so far now after Trump, a lot of Republicans are just no longer that sophisticated, and they just get pretty bold about their racism. But Mike Lindell is a stupid person. And he actually does believe this. I mean, 100%. He's 100% sold on this nonsense. Why else would you end up in Idaho counting in places where Trump already won? The guy has completely lost it and is out of touch with reality. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.